everything is coming from nothing and going back to nothing. You may think you're too much, but you are just a brief happening, isn't it? Simply you appear like this, you'll disappear tomorrow, isn't it?
All that moves is bound to exhaust itself, but that which is still is for always.
So fullness is an illusion that you chase, there is no such thing. But emptiness is possible. What is empty is never partially empty. Fullness is always partial. Emptiness is always total. When something is empty, it is absolutely empty.
If you do not know how to be still, you can only be ill, there is no other way.
So this is the purpose of sitting with eyes closed.
All that moves will anyway be brought to a stop. But that which is still is for always. No moment in the existence is perpetual. Certain things may be on for a long time, but never perpetual. All that moves is bound to exhaust itself, but that which is still is for always. What's being propagated or what's being termed as meditation is essentially to move towards that stillness, to become like the core of existence. It is not that you have to strive to become like that. If you learn to penetrate, it is like that. It is not something that you do, because doing is moment. It is something that you fall back into, because it's from that stillness that moment has originated. It is from that stillness that the surface is movement. On the surface there are many kinds of actions, many kinds of colors, many kinds of reverberance. Not against it. All that you call as life, all that you generally know as life, is the surface reverberance. But once you have the taste of stillness, if you wish, you can play the surface. Otherwise you can just fall back. If you do not know the core, if you have never tasted the still core, forever it's in some kind of compulsive movement. Believe me. It doesn't matter how exciting you find life right now, one day you will tire. I hope that you don't fall off life because you're tired. You fall off life because you're ripe. A fruit should fall off the tree because it's ripe, not because it's tired. Because with ripeness comes sweetness. With ripeness comes maturity. With ripeness comes new possibility. If you're tired and fall off, that's not the right way to fall off from life. So meditation is not an option. Meditation is not a fanciful endeavor in one's life. If you do not know how to be still, you can only be ill. There is no other way. You may have different names for your illness. Do you know, in 17th century, it was fashionable in England to have tuberculosis. Really? Similarly, there are many other ailments today which are fashionable. It doesn't matter how much pain and suffering it causes, but still it's fashionable. But that doesn't make it right. The choice is only this. Either you learn to be still, or you will be in some form of illness. A man is ill only because he does not know how to be still. If he knew how to be still, even if the body is rotting, he will not be ill. So this is not a fanciful option that one takes. If one looks at life and life process closely enough, diving deeper into it is a natural process. Touching the core of it is the success. If failure is the ideal of life, if failure is fashion, better not walk the ramp, it's not worth it. Because everything, just everything, even a little ant is trying to be successful in his life. His understanding of success. There is no human being who is looking for failure. One is successful only when he finds full expression to all that he is. And that will never ever happen without one becoming meditative. When I say meditative, I'm not necessarily talking about an organized, instructed meditation process, but one has to become meditative, otherwise he will never know the nature of his existence. If you do not even know the nature of who you are, finding full expression to that is just out of question.
What is it that can be everywhere? I want you to look at this. Think of one thing that can be everywhere. Nature? What does nature mean to you? See, energy can be here, not be there, isn't it? No. See, there can be a… See, energy means it has a physical presence. So, there is energy here, Maybe there is no energy there, it's a possibility, isn't it? What is it that can be everywhere? Oh, you're… Huh? Nothingness. Nothingness is the only thing which can be everywhere, isn't it? You don't like it. Now, you're flying up there, you're flying within the atmosphere, so there is something. Suppose your airplane takes off and flies beyond this atmospheric space. What is there? Total nothingness, isn't it? If you look up in the sky in the night, what do you see? Stars. I want you to understand, stars are just tiny specks out there. The large mass is just vast emptiness, isn't it? It is in the lap of this nothingness, small somethingness has happened. Your planets, stars, galaxies are just little happenings in the vast emptiness of space. So nothingness is the only thing which can be everywhere. So if nothingness is all that can be everywhere, today modern science is proving to you beyond any doubt, everything is coming from nothing and going back to nothing. Do you know this? Do you know modern science is proving to you, your theory of relativity, quantum theory and now the string one, they're all out to prove to you that everything comes from nothing and goes back to nothing. A whole galaxy of stars, many times they just collapse into themselves and become nothing. Some of them explode and become supernovas, but many of them just collapse into themselves and just become nothing. These are called black holes. So, everything comes from nothing, goes back to nothing. What you call as creation is just a small happening, a brief happening, maybe a few 100 million years, but still, in the vastness of the space, it is just a small, brief happening. You may think you're too much, but you are just a brief happening, isn't it? Simply you appear like this, you'll disappear tomorrow, isn't it? This planet also, it is appeared like this, it'll disappear tomorrow. But the vastness of the space is always there. It is in the lap of this space, everything is happening. It is in the lap of nothingness, somethingness sprouts and dies, sprouts and dies. So everything is coming from nothing. You know the word Shiva? The word Shiva means that which is not. The word Shiva literally means that which is not. That which is creation, that which is not is Shiva or the creator. So, this is ultimate science for you. They're just telling you everything comes from nothing and goes back to nothing. Because everything is supposed to come from Shiva and he is that which is not. He is nothingness. Or in other words, he is darkness. Space is just utter darkness, isn't it? Yes, experientially. The sources of light are always limited. If you see light, it means something is burning there. It won't be forever, it'll burn up after some time. You feel and see, something is burning here. Yes? In a mild way maybe, but something is burning and you can't keep the burning forever. You cannot keep any burning forever. It will burn itself out after some time. Even the greatest source of light that you know is sun. Even he is burning himself up. One day he will be done. Yes or no? Such a great source of light. Just with my hand, I can stop the light and leave a long shadow of darkness, isn't it? But darkness, can you stop it anywhere? It is everywhere, into everything. So, your religion's told you, God is everywhere. That means they're telling you God is darkness. But always you believed divine light, never divine darkness. In yoga, for beginners in yoga, we always tell them, God is light. As people advance in yoga, we tell them, God is darkness.
You're frightening us.
Huh?
You're frightening us.
Why? You're afraid of darkness?
Yeah.
See, darkness means there is nothing. Nothing cannot hurt you, only something can hurt you, isn't it? Isn't it so? Huh?
Something created us.
Yes. Why are you afraid of that which created you?
But that's nothing.
Yes, it's nothing.
But that means there is something which has made us.
See, there was some time ago this philosophy. Some time ago, modern science believed nothing can be actually created or destroyed. You can only convert one thing into another. Matter can neither be created nor can it be destroyed, but not anymore. Worldwide, physical research laboratories have done this. Now they can destroy a proton or a neutron, not releasing any energy, not becoming anything else, just simply plain destruction. An existing proton, you can make it non-existent. And in vacuum states, where nothing is, they can produce what is called as virtual protons and virtual neutrons. One of the experiments happened in the coal or gold mines. Do you know this? Because they wanted a certain depth and a certain pressure inside the earth. In 5 different places on the planet, they conducted a very significant experiment about 8-9 years ago. One point was coal or gold mines near Bangalore. And they can actually destroy protons and neutrons, and they can create protons and neutrons out of nothing. So, this whole idea of if something has to be there, something else has to be there behind it, doesn't arise anymore. Everything comes from nothing and goes back to nothing. Huh?
Nothing makes something.
May make something, not necessarily.
This question is from Vasini. If one has a deep yearning for nothingness and one is doing all the sadhanas and becoming emptier each day, but the experience still has not happened, what is one to do, Sadhguru?
Emptiness does not come in installments. Because emptiness means that which is not. Why emptiness is? Because fullness, there is no such thing, it's just a word. If you really look at it, let us say, I will put $1 billion into your pocket. No, I have no such plans, I am raising funds right now, okay? Suppose, just to titillate you, I will put $1 billion into your pocket. It feels very full for one day, but then you see her walking with $10 billion, huh, you have? Then suddenly your pocket feels empty with $1 billion. Then let's say we'll put another 9 for you. You have $10 billion. Then he is walking with $100 billion. Suddenly it again feels empty. So your pocket can never be full, no matter how much we put. We'll take your head. When you passed your first standard, you felt like, what's there more to know in this world? You know? Then they told you there's a goddamn second standard. And you went through this, then they told you 10th standard is public exam, that's it. If you do that, your parents went on telling you, this is the key aspect of your life, 10th standard is very crucial, you believed. and you finished your 10th standard and you're feeling chest puffed up and you thought you really know it, then the next day they started bothering you, which college will you join, which college will you join? What college? I thought number 10 I reached. Perfect number champion number, but no good. Like this at every point. So, how much ever we put into your head will never become full. Well, initially you just fell in love with only one person. Then when you fall in love with one person, she produces one or two or three. Then you fell in love with all of them. But then they produce grandchildren like this. That also you loved, actually more than this one. So your heart also cannot become full. You go in a constipated installments, that's different. If you fall in love with everything in the universe, still it is not full, still it is capable of taking more. So your pocket cannot become full, your head cannot become full, your heart cannot become full. So fullness is an illusion that you chase, there is no such thing. But emptiness is possible. What is empty is never partially empty. Fullness is always partial. Emptiness is always total. When something is empty, it is absolutely empty. So you don't do that in installments. If you try to do it in installments, then you you will never catch emptiness, because you cannot catch emptiness. This happened one day. A lady was having a neighboring woman, another lady from the neighborhood who is also about her same age, both of them have children. So of course she wanted to, boast a little bit. She said, we bought a few liters of olive oil and we soaked our baby in this olive oil. Then the other lady asked, really? It must be very expensive, but his skin quality must have really changed. Then the man in the house came out and said, I don't know about that, we've not been able to catch him till now. So don't try to catch emptiness. You can't catch emptiness, it's not anywhere. But it's total. So what do I do? How do I empty myself? You understand this, if I take a bucket, I can empty it by throwing a mug after mug out. If I take a well, I can take buckets and buckets and buckets and empty it. Well, that is not the way it happens. You become empty not because you have nothing. You become empty because you're dispossessed. You're not possessed by the things that you carry. Right now you're possessed. Your money, your home, your relationships, your God, your religion, your philosophies, your love affairs, anything and everything possesses you. When you're dispossessed, you're empty. So this is the purpose of sitting with eyes closed, not praying to somebody, not calling out some god, not something, just cut off, lock down. This is, all over the world, the governments are now initiating you into a spiritual process so that you're not possessed by what is around you, you're simply all by yourself. But of course, many of you are behaving as if you're possessed. When you're dispossessed, you're empty. Otherwise, you'll go on and on and on. I'm saying you're looking in the wrong direction. You're looking at a few tidbits that you have gathered in your life. Yes, that's all you gathered. And thinking, if I leave one, I will become empty, okay, I lift one more, I'll become empty. People go to Kashi. It's a tradition that in ancient times they said when you go to Kashi, you must become dispossessed. There's nothing more. Every day you see hundreds of bodies burning there, you sit there for a few days or few months. When you come back, you're dispossessed, you are not entangled with anything. Then people made it little more, you must leave some money and come, you must leave something else and come. These days they leave only pavakai and come, the bitter gourd. Anyway, they were not eating it. So that one they will leave it and come, you must leave something and come. So I left bitter gourd because I don't like it anyway. That is not the way to leave it, because you are aiming at the wrong target. Even if you shoot it, it's not going to go away. This happened. One day, Shankaran Pillai was newly married. So he made it a point when he's coming back from his office, he always stopped in a restaurant and made sure he ate reasonably well and then came home. Because home was an experiment still. So he came home and his wife was… as soon as he came home, she opened the door, she hugged him and cried bitterly. He asked, what happened? She said, just for you, I went through so much… from morning I've been online, taking instructions from a cooking, instructor, and I made chicken biryani for you. I think it turned out well, but the dog, our dog, ate it up. I just went for a shower, by the time I came out, our dog ate it up. Shankaran Pillai says, it's okay, don't cry, I will buy a new dog. So, what's her name?
Vasini.
Huh?
Vasini.
Vasini, if you want to become empty, what is needed is to get dispossessed. There are methods for that, how to do it. Don't try to empty one thing after another, it'll take even if you go for 1,000,000 years, you will always be finding something new because how you gather it, you never know. You can get rid of this, you can get rid of that, but you keep on gathering other kind of things. So don't go that way, there are proper methods. You should get initiated into something which will work. See, when somebody else calls you a fool, it's an insult. When you realize you're a fool, that means you become smart enough to know that. So I did not call you a fool, I only agreed with you. This happened to me also. Before all this happened, I was very smart. Very, very smart. So I thought, and so everybody around me also supported it. I definitely thought so. All others around me also supported this. He's very smart. And the activity that I was performing at that time and the results that it produced also proved that I was very smart. But one day, I went up a small hill and I realized I was an utter fool. Since then, everything has been fantastic. Yes. So be a fool, it's a damn good thing. If you're a damn fool, it's a damn good thing. But don't tell anybody like this. Because socially you still have to live. You don't go about telling everybody, I'm a fool. It's all right. You know you're a fool, everybody thinks you're smart, that's a good thing. But you tell everybody you're a fool, that's not a good thing. So, there are different ways to look at this. If something bigger than yourself happens to you, something way bigger than yourself happens to you, then naturally you feel like a damn fool. Nothing happened to you, you are the biggest thing in the universe. You think you're smart, but you are a bloody fool. That's a big difference. We can even say this in other terms, but let me not go there. I want you to understand that there are no too many problems with you. Hello? You think you're complicated because you like to be complicated. Because if you're simple, you feel like a fool. Yes? So you're complicating yourself just to avoid seeing that you're a bloody fool. Your problem is not very existential, it's more maintenance. Certain things are not opening up. This happened. Shankaran Pillai checked into a hotel along with his wife. At 11:30 in the night, he called the reception and he said, "My wife is threatening to jump out of the window from the 5th floor." The reception said, "Sir, this is a personal matter. I cannot intervene in this, and above all, I'm the only night staff who is here. So you need to deal with it yourself. This is a personal matter. Except for me and one maintenance staff, there is nobody in the hotel, we cannot assist you in any way. You need to deal with it yourself, it is your personal stuff." Shankaran Pillai roared, "You idiot! You think I will ask you to come and handle my personal matters? I'm talking about a maintenance issue only. The damn window is not opening." So, your problem is just that, the window is not opening. There's no other problem, just maintenance issues. Because you think you're too smart, it's too stuffed up. If you feel like an empty fool, it'll open up.